Welcome back to It Tastes Like Burning. This Matt.
This Jesse.
I have a cold today and am nasally and mostly congested, and I have my cough syrup right here in front of me, and I'm hoping that it aids quite a bit in today's podcast.
I thought you said you had the clap. Oh,
Oh,
you were going to clap.
yeah,
That's
no,
what
no,
it was.
no.
Okay,
Well,
I got it.
actually, those things are closely related,
Yeah.
and it's unusual and uncomfortable for both of us at this time.
Yeah, well, it's just that burning. But that's neither here nor there.
Now they make it cream.
Yeah. Okay.
So, in the grand scheme of figuring out where we're going to actually go today, if you ever feel like commenting to the podcast, you have questions or issues or thoughts, go ahead and reach out to us at ittasteslikeburningcast at gmail.com. You can find us at YouTube at It Tastes Like Burning Cast. And then you can also give us a like, click, subscribe, ring the bell, and any other remotest thing in the planet that you can possibly do to support us, because you'd be surprised it actually makes a difference to not only us, but perhaps some meaningless country in whatever other place on the face of the earth there is that actually exists at this time, because they seem to be turning over left and right.
Yeah. Falling off the earth. So, since we don't have anything, right? We just kind of bloviate and talk and whatever. But uh, you've had some interesting travels here late.
I have.
Yeah.
I've been near, far, and wide. Uh, Granbury itself's had a couple of really awesome things that we've had happen. And I've had and I do mean this, the unusual opportunity to talk about Granbury uh, while talking to career fire departments and career administration. And it's unusual at how at the end of the day at how differently we look at the same problems that we face. And it's I don't know what the word is. Challenging, introspective, you know, whatever. Sound mystifying and confusing and interesting. But at the end of the day, uh somehow or another, we're just in a good spot and at a good time in our organization. And oddly enough, some other people have recognized it.
Yeah. I think it gets recognized a lot more than what we Eh, not more than what we think, but more than we realize maybe. Uh, doesn't hurt the fact that we have a huge social media following, and when we do post stuff about what's going on, it reaches tens of thousands of people, uh, not just hundreds of people or dozens of people. But we've had some cool things happen. We've talked about them. They've all been part of what we've talked about. It just kind of all came into a big ball of recognition that happened here recently. But and we did get to unveil the hubcap.
Oh, yeah. The glorious hubcap, the proverbial and very secretive hubcap. It's also a challenge coin that MC Hammer would be proud to wear.
Yeah, 3 inches.
Yeah. And it very clearly states who we are and what we do and what we've achieved with our ISO2. And I quite honestly feel like that is too small. And Jesse is the one that actually had to talk me out of having something that I'd consider more appropriately sized in the 8 or 12-inch range.
Yeah, well, and obscenely expensive at that point, right?
But we have the monies.
Sometimes, sometimes.
People don't need gear next year.
Yeah, wear this. This is your suit of armor.
Right. No, and it is. It's just I've had the opportunity to be invited into some pretty unique discussions with some pretty serious organizations. Um, and it's about department operations and I mean, we'll call it achievements with the ISO 2. Um, to anyone that's remotely familiar with ISO 2, just understand that we're a non ESD municipal 100% volunteer, no subsidy, stipend, reimbursement, scheduling for the membership, and we hit an ISO 2. Um, and I commonly make the joke today that my superpower is paperwork. Turns out I'm very good at it. Um, and it turns out that if you're willing to put the time, energy, and effort into a project, that you can actually be rewarded not only from the personal success of the flourishing of the project, but also, oddly enough, seeing the membership buy into the project and take a pretty serious streak of pride and ownership in the event.
So, couple things and couple takeaways. I had a conversation with a firefighter from another department that was talking about what the chief was talking to him about, well, y'all are just y'all have different Kool-Aid over there. Y'all are different. Nobody can do that. And I argue everybody can do it. What we do, it's not magic. It didn't take uh, the Pope didn't come bless this thing to happen. It just took work, right? It's what you want to put the work into.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to just go down the kind of the list of the people, the special Kool-Aid, and I'm going to miss dozens, and
Or
for that I'm
hundreds.
sorry, but like Station 1 has a city employee. He's also the city fire marshal. We have a retired union president, uh, a union welder, a fire alarm specialist, uh, insurance salesman, another salesman, um, a career firefighter who's a young man just starting in his career. We have a career EMT that just got his paramedic. He's not going the fire route. Um, another kid who arguably is one of the bigger unsung heroes of the community. Uh, poor as a church mouse, fought against every single obstacle on the face of the earth. Just graduated from EMT school. Um, he's trying to make a career of things while taking care of his family. Um, I mean, the list keeps going and all going. I mean, we have a dispatcher, a 911 dispatcher, another career firefighter, um, a high school graduate, just grad. Hell, she might even still be in high school.
No, she graduated last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, another kid that just he works at a local fast food place, trying to figure out his way in life. Let's go over to Station 2. Uh, career firefighter who's a captain, and a machinist, a AC technician, a kind of like has a bunch of small businesses locally. I mean, the list, there's no specific track. There's one airline pilot in there. We have another guy that's what is he, a building engineer or contract manager,
Yeah, something like
project manager. Um, I mean, yeah, just tell me what secret Kool-Aid it is.
yeah.
Or it's the fact that we recognize that all of these people have a specific purpose and goal within the organization, and that we empower them enough to feel like that they have not only ownership in the program but value in it,
I
and they
think that's
contribute to their own levels.
I think there's a couple of key things that I see that we do different than most places that I see. One, we don't stop recruiting, right? We always have the help wanted sign out. We always are doing something. We're always taking applications. We give people the tools and the training to do the job. They're not just left to their own devices to figure that out. We provide the things they need to be effective, and then, oh, you're fine. We had a run through, but that's all right. Yeah,
He's just a general contractor and builder
yeah,
and small business owner and family man. Maybe that's the secret sauce.
that could be. Could be. Yeah, I don't think the secret's a secret, right? I think it's just the same stuff. I think the real secret sauce is that you empower people, you give them the tools, the training, the equipment to do a good job, and then you thank them for doing a good job.
If there's any secret sauce in this, it's this. And I'm going to toot Jesse's horn and to a certain extent bloviate a little bit about me. The fact of the matter is that our interest is growing in developing the organization. The difference is that the two of us are aware enough, intelligent enough, and considerate enough to realize that you can't do it by ourselves. But what we have to do is be able to give guidance, direction, and focus to the organization while communicating common goals and getting everyone to generally be able to march in one general direction to a specific project, plan, or perceived objective. The joke I always make to people is that if your ship crashed into our island, what you would see is a tropical paradise, lots of trees, lots of coconuts, lots of wildlife, lots of water. And you'd notice that all the monkeys that we have, let me tell you, they can go to war and they can fight each other left and right, and the poo will be flying. But when I magically pull out the organ grinding machine behind a rock and start cranking along on it, somehow or another, our monkeys, they're damn good at picking up their coconuts and banging them together in unison.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, when they agree on the music, it's incredible. Now, the second the organ stops, oh no, the poo flinging starts, and
You're
I mean,
herding cats.
yeah, it's back to absolute bedlam. But uh, it wasn't our achievement; it was the department's achievement, and it was the membership's achievement. And I don't think we have failed in letting the membership know that it's theirs and not ours.
Yeah, the only real thing we did was tie it up and put a bow on it and paperwork. That's it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm good at paperwork.
That's it. Paperwork.
That's it.
Yeah. It's a
And it wasn't a short process.
no.
I mean,
This is years in the making. It's not even something that's only been the last year or year and a half.
no.
This is the 115 years in the making.
Right. I mean, I've been on Granbury 15 years now.
Yeah.
And this is a project of mine. Didn't know it was a project 12 years ago, but that's where it started for me 12 years ago. Got serious in 2018, 19. So truly started to work on it in 2020.
And the crazy part is there's departments all over that are kind of jumping in, lock and step, and doing stuff, right? It's not just this isolated thing. You can go all over and there's stuff happening and there's positive impacts in these communities, and some of them are nuts, right? I was just gonna throw this out there. Divine, Office of the Divine Fire Chief, Greg has got 3 academies running this year.
That'd be rough.
I'm like, oh my gosh, man, you're crazy. That's insane, but awesome. Awesome that you're doing that. Like, so committed to it. You're not gonna just do it once or twice. You're going 3 deep in the fire academy. And I'm like, wow. Wow. I don't want to do that.
Nothing like the triple penetration
Yeah.
for
Wow.
the money shot. God almighty. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So his schedule's 3.
So I'm gonna pull out the old crystal ball and we're gonna look at 2026.
I bet it goes back to 2.
I bet you he doesn't have 3.
Or he goes to 4. Right?
He won't go to 4.
He might. Like, he's committed. He is the pig. He is committed. And Steven's committed down in Robinson. He's got stuff going, firing off on his first academy, and looking to get somebody in house to manage that, and just stuff. Like, stuff is happening.
Well, and James Etchison out there
Yeah,
in Alpine,
Alpine.
he
They're
went
firing off academy, aren't they?
right. They're firing off an academy and they're turning out a whole bunch of EMCs or EMRs, sorry.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're significantly picking up on a very noticed need in their community,
Like,
while growing the organization.
yeah, if you're sitting out there saying we can't do this stuff, like, there's something wrong there. There's a big disconnect. I think the we can't do this is overshadowed by the I don't want to do that. I think that's what more times than not, that's what the problem.
I'm going to add to that.
It's the chief or the leadership that doesn't want to do
So
that.
it's, why can't I get help with this? Or why won't someone else do this? Or why won't someone help me with this? Okay. No one's going to help you. Stop bitching. Just do it. It's hard. You're not going to get your ticker tape parade. You're not going to get the credit. No one's going to pat you on the back, and just deal with it.
And the reality is you should give the credit to somebody else just because.
Right. Okay.
Just because.
Just because you're not getting the help that you perceive that you need or want or should have or ought to have doesn't mean crap. I just, I'm, I am,
Otter. An otter's got an ass like a beaver.
yeah.
It's watertight.
I'm done
Yeah.
with that. Like, if it's hard, quit. Jesus.
Or maybe it's hard because it's worth it. There is that.
Well, but no. Now that's like the last part of this. That's the difference, though, is that me and you do that. The difference is that we're on the same organization. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Is that just because it's hard is the reason that you should do it. Because damn it, there's nothing wrong with actually trying to make your organization better. Yes, someone's going to have to take the first step. Always make the statement that the first one through the brick wall's the one with the bloody nose. No one cares. Just do it.
Yeah. Well, and it goes back to everything that whether you're a business or whatever, like, the guys that take the risks and do the things are the guys that reap the reward, right? The person that played it safe 100% of the time and never did anything to affect change or rock the boat or come up with a new idea, yeah, they might have got by, but that's it. You got by.
And then there's other guys that are guys and gals that are out there just, I think of Jeremy in Russ County. Can't remember which part of the ESD he's in. That dude, let me tell you, a pig going missiling towards a wall. That he don't care. He's gonna do it because he knows it needs to be done. And He's just going to get it out, done and out of the way. And there's other departments out there. I mean, I'm so sorry for not mentioning the 50 other departments out there that realize that they can make a difference and they want to make a difference. Morgan Mill,
Yeah.
I,
Bluffdale,
Bluffdale, uh,
Valley View.
Valley View. Yeah, I mean, there's dozens of you, and like I said, we're not going to mention all of you, and I'm sorry, but Jesus, you're all working to this really awesome thing, and all I can tell you is keep working. Like, yeah, it sucks. Again, you're listening to me at year 12, where I get to talk about, oh, yeah, look at me, VEIS, Fire Academies, fully certified, ISO 2, 12 years. And I'm not telling you it was a part time job. Like, you need to really understand the quote. The difference between commitment and involvement is like a ham and eggs breakfast. You have to be the pig and not the chicken.
Yeah.
And here's the sad part. What is the pig in this analogy? You're bacon. You're just a part of the day. You have to accept that. You're not going to get the credit. I'm sorry. We're giving you credit now for listening and trying to be encouraging to your organization. This is us cheering you on. Now get back to work.
Yeah.
It's literally that. Just keep working. Because I can tell you, the other departments that we've talked to that just keep working, they somehow or another figure it out and they keep improving and they keep really doing awesome things. I was talking to a local chief the other day, this a volunteer chief. This guy was shaking like a dog shit in a peach seed. He was so excited that I was there, which made no sense because I know this man. Like, he could have called me at any time. And it's a long day. I'm tired. Like I don't really want to go through his 3 fire calls. 4.5 hours later, 12 o'clock at night, we're sitting there still talking about his 3 fire calls and going through strategy and tactics. And we're talking about what we could do different and how our fire academy benefited and what that looks like going forward, and maybe how we need to change our box alarms and the pros and cons of that, and maybe how we could change the box alarms to actually have the apparatus show up on scene that would benefit us to each individual's given situation. I mean, yeah, like I'm I don't know how to tell you this. When you're awesome, it feels awesome.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. But the side part is that you got to do a lot of work.
Yeah. And then you got to keep doing it once you get there, right? You can't just rest on your laurels and let it.
Well, that's the travesty.
Yeah. Yeah. You're just every step forward and every advancement that you make just opens the door to work that much harder.
And I want to add, mostly because I've had at least 12 or 30 small drinks. Don't forget to continue to build the next generation. Jesse's always said this. What do we do with what's the purpose of our job?
To train our replacements.
Right. And when your replacements are taking the engraver and engraving initials on the station table or on the wall, and you want to hold them under the water until they stop twitching, even though you might think that might make you feel better,
It will.
I would. Yeah, you're right. That's the end of this. Anyways, that's the time when you even pour a little more into them, because it's absolutely stupid as you are. I think your name's Bailey.
Yeah.
Jesus, you have so much potential. Just think for the love of Christ, think for half a second and realize, oh my God, I might die here, that I have faith in you and that you can do better and that you actually probably will. And I'll be dead because there's no way that anything else will happen besides this. But when I'm dead, that we can turn the department over to you and we'll probably be okay. And that's about as close as you're ever going to get from a compliment from me
Yeah.
until the,
And beyond that, or just try to be non-inept.
there's that.
Yeah.
There is this thing. I know you don't have much of it, but when you do, you manage to pull it out and throw it against the wall and see how it slides down. Your brain, it is valuable, and maybe you should,
Engage it.
yeah, stop chewing on it. So yeah, as you can tell, there may or may not be a problem there. Not with us, because quite frankly, if we'd have beat this kid with death with a hose filled with sand, we'd have been justified. Uh, don't be afraid to give him more attention, particularly at the times that when you want to kill him.
Yeah. And let them know to not lick the peanut butter off the handgun. Yeah. That's the hard part. They're soft and cushy. And their bones make funny noises after you get a hold of them. But that's a different story.
Yeah. Yeah. Next time I see him, I'm going to ask, have you ever been strangled to death by an alligator?
Yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, spend the time into your people. Don't hoard your knowledge, your experiences, your skills. That's not your purpose. It really isn't.
Pass it on. Pass it on. Throw knowledge and experience around like it's confetti. Like, just give it to them all. Don't pick favorites. We're not here to pick winners and losers. We're not here to pick who lives and dies.
No.
It's literally as unilateral as we can be. You know, there's bias, and I realize that. And sometimes you just want to hug them so hard that they stop breathing. But, you know, it's because you love them. That look tells it all.
Yeah, I that's what I'll use in court. So the next question to this is, whatever your level of success is, you achieved it. Now what?
Keep going.
To what?
Keep going. There's always better. There's always better. There's always more. There's always things that we can improve on. Now, for us, the things get a little more skewed and they're harder to decipher from the, you know, when you've got everything to improve on, it's real easy to find something, right? When you're doing pretty well with a few things, it gets a little harder. When you're doing pretty well with a bunch of things, even harder to find those things that you need to improve on it, because it's real easy to just sit there and say, well, we're perfect. Well, we're not perfect. We're far from it, right? For us, a lot of what we need to work on is just organizational structure stuff, uh, processes, uh, accountability is a big weakness we have. Uh, and not just the accountability of who can engrave in the table, but the accountability of on-scene accountability and kind of the safety aspect of things. We've got some improvement to do in some of those areas, and we need to kind of hone in on one of them and fix the next thing, and hope through that process that we don't break something else.
Well, I would counter this. Something's going to break. Hopefully, we're aware enough to catch it before it breaks, or more realistically, be able to be reactive enough
To
to
get the
catch it
super glue.
while it breaks.
Yeah.
And see what caused the break. Is it a point of view problem? Is it a foundational document problem? Is it a personnel problem? Or is it a personal grievance problem?
Yeah.
Because there's 50 different things that can contribute to that.
Yeah. And then you factor in personalities and everything else and egos and on and on and on. Well, it's back to the monkeys throwing the poo, right?
Right.
Yep. Well, you want to call it a short one and
Sure.
give it a
Perfectly fine with that.
Yep. We got a guest.
We have a guest.
So we'll
He's scowling at us and flipping us off.
yeah, I put the gas can down. No, put the gas can down.
Shoot Jesse first.
All right.
All right. This is Matt.
This is Jesse.
And if you ever want to reach out to us, find us at ittasteslikeburningcast@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube at ittasteslikeburningcast. You can find us on Patreon at ittasteslikeburnning. And always, it really is honestly good for us. Like, click, subscribe, forward,
Yeah, just
comment,
do it all.
do it all.
Do it all. Good night.
Thank you.